Now arriving at Lijiang Tower. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Game on!
Five, four,
My ultimate is charging.
2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Ready to unleash coalescence.
Pulse bomb ready!
Surrender my will. Fire at will.
I'm under attack.
man.
Overtime.
Огонь по готовности!
Score 0-1. Ready for battle. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective. The objective is now
Join with me.
Group up with me. Join with me.
Time to raise my BPM.
You might want to keep your distance.
I have found the enemy! Come and face me!
Justice reigns from above!
Pass into the iris.
Justice! Girl, come on. Apagando las luces. Helden sterben nicht. Огонь по готовности. Get off the stage.
Victory. Play of the game. Triple kill.
There we go. All right. We are set to go with map 2. There we go. I can actually hear us now. Hey, there we go. Thanks for pointing that out there, Dino Cry. Yes, would not have known otherwise. I have my laptop muted in the background just so that I can view the screen. All right, I'm going to let the team know that we can go for the second map. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Deus Vult had like a really good strong push on the first map, but I think some of the weird comp was our first round. But I think some of the weird comp ended up really. Oh, sorry, the uncoordinated push where Arya ended up going straight in through, and none of the rest of the team ended up following. Really ended up shattering that the rest of the push. Because she kind of dove through, and then there was, you know, a whole team between her and her team.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Okay, let us see.
Initiating.
This is true, especially if it ends up, you know, taking some of the attention off of that choke. Really? Let me double check. Turning my volume on. Alright. Yeah, we're not hearing Res. Or Forsaken, I should say. I don't know whether you need to check your settings for audio sharing.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Let me just look it up. There is only one person talking there, Shammy. I mean, there's two, but you're only hearing one. Which means... Alright, True Alphas is going to go on the attack very first. While we got Deus Vult. Oh, they're pushing up for a quick, cheeky little fire strike to see if he can get some ult charge right off the hop. Now they're pulling back. Not sure if I like the placement of that Torb turret, but it's now just going to diverge all of Torb's focus in making sure that stays there, and he's actually almost dead. Yep, there we go. Out comes the barrage of bombs. Ooh, several picks already on True Alpha's side. Deus Vult is going down. It looks like this point's actually going to True Alpha's. You got Impulse trying to stay alive as Genji in the back. He's actually pushing back to the rest of his team right now. Oh, he's poking actually over the thing. He's trying to stall. Doesn't get there in time, and I think he's going to end up getting himself staggered along with Zandite. Xanadite? Xanadite. Ooh, out comes the... Wow, that's actually a really quick grab. So that's bomb, grab, and tire that's come out of True Alpha so far. We got... Only Ari really actually has to have an ult for the Deus Vult. Not really, and then another swap from Xanadite and Impulse has actually kind of brought their ult economy down once again. I think these rapid switches are actually going to be a huge downfall for them. Yes, definitely. Did you go into those settings that Shami suggested? No. If it is, I'll have to end up taking another look in between rounds while they're swapping things up. Ooh. Now they're getting a pretty nice, easy push for. Yeah, it's supposed to tick all three options on that page. Yes, supposedly. Okay. Alright.
Initiating match.
Alright, let's hope that's done actually something.
Let's check and see then. Yes, I am here. Let's go.
There we go. Peculiar sometimes how PlayStation Network works. Where it's just like, I've checked all the options off. I should be able to be heard. But no. Simple leave and come back.
That's... The leave and come back seemed to work for me.
It's essentially basically the IT equivalent. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Well, a very strong push from True Alphas with 4 minutes to spare off of a payload, and seems like they're going to be coming in with a pretty spread out comp with the Death Ball included, but we'll have to see how this Widow plays into effect with the dive comp coming in from...
I was just thinking that too. It depends on how coordinated Deus Vult can actually end up being with the dive there. Alright, we got what should be an early pick on the Junkrat since he is way away from the rest of his team. It looks like they're struggling. There we go. You got the Widow trying to go out. It was very risky. I'm thinking he's just, you know, thinking this is going to be easy going forward and trying to, ooh, Impulse ends up taking out Widow, but, you know, thinking that he doesn't need to end up playing carefully. It showed him. Cannot use voice chat with Forsaken due to Nat type. Ooh, Tire comes out, does take out both Trucker and Impulse. It looks like they're about ready. They're ready to take re-control over the point A and hold it.
Unfortunately for the attacking team, they didn't get a single tick off of that push.
I know. It's very unfortunate. It's gonna make it. They're just gonna end up having to come back a little bit more coordination. I think that they were a little split for being what a dive truly is.
And another thing to point out is that Nano was not used with the blade, so
yeah, that would have been a huge change of events. But the blade did come out.
It looks like he'll probably go on the Winston if it's going to be used.
I was thinking the same thing. Yep.
And there it is.
It's a solid choice target for the
Diva Bomb take out the mech, but seems like, or not the mech, the lamp.
Oh,
but it seems
we got
like
a
it's
monkey
very heavily
going after
decided.
Hawk. Alec trying to do what he can to stay alive while... Ooh, lured them into the back room and hogged them out of his way. Not terribly successful as Deus Vult does take the point. Solid pick on the Ana.
And the Diva has been demeched. Meaning the spam damage coming from this Junkrat will not be eaten.
They're gonna want to be careful though at this point in time. They're pushing a little forward for where the spawn actually really is, and it could cost them.
The ult coming in from Impulse was completely negated, or not. Yeah, the ult coming in from Impulse completely negated by the Immortality field there. So that was a fantastic play from the Baptiste.
Yeah, you really gotta be watching out for that. Try and bait those out. Wait for those to pop out first.
Rebel on the Junkrat again, just in the backline of this team. And he doesn't make it out a second time. It seems like the Junkrat and the Tracer are playing opposites of what you would imagine them to be. Because the Tracer has been sticking pretty close to her team, but the Junkrat has been diving to the backline and picking ghouls.
Trucker almost gonna get a second raging monkey form.
5 ults on both sides, but with the whole hog coming down, means that the 6th ult will probably show up first from the side of Deus Vult. Big hook on the Diva, and she drops her bomb. No kills, but it does drop some damage on the shield, and she goes down before she can get back into mech.
She does happen to also take out that Immortality field. That could have been good for them. But doesn't look like it.
They were not able to hold point, but they were able to hold this choke pretty strongly.
Yes. Yeah. Trucker looking for what he needs in order to get in there. Oh! Trucker goes down, so does the Anna.
And the picks are just coming out.
Ari's just kind of sitting out in the back, trying to look for, you know, what's going on. She's scouting, waiting for a time to get a good EMP, but oh! EMP goes out
EMP,
after
but the
half
entire
the
team is
is
dead.
gone. Unfortunately, no one's there left to follow through. And the mortality field did come back out. Oh, got hacked pretty quick. And
The amped fire strike there, getting both of the healers.
this is not looking good for Deus Vult on map 2.
Ya estoy lista para ese trago. I'm out of here.
Deus Vult is just very split up with where their damage is being able to have application. But the Diva Bomb does get the Reinhardt and incoming the Junk Tire to get both of the damage on the side.
No, I never. They only got the tank left in the thing on point. And they went out.
And nobody was able to get back on point.
Alright, and that is map 2. Going to True Alphas yet again. They are up a good solid 2-0. And I think Deus Vult could have actually had a couple of pretty solid pushes if their coordination was a little bit better on some of those ults. The Genji Blade coming out, you know, during that one push by himself, followed by an EMP when there's not really anybody left to follow up. Probably really hurt them. That really could have been a game changer for him.
Yeah, if they would have had the EMP alongside the Genji Blade, it could have really done a big push for them. But because their team kind of staggered in right before they used them, there was no follow through on either of them.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. That's a pretty solid combo actually right there. So.
So True Alpha is currently up 2-0.
They do, and True Alphas being a brand new team, like these are folks that literally have joined the league within the last like week or two. This is for the most of these players their very first game within the league, if not all of them actually.
You say they're a brand new team, but they have the matching icons, so they've obviously been playing together for a very long time.
We did do a little notes to them the other night to, you know, suggest that they end up practicing together. So it looks like that's paying off.
Oh yeah.
Well, looks like we got a little bit of mercy love coming from Sammy Sally. Spreading those wings. Wow, we got dead fish from Solarium.
With the way that we've seen a lot of the convincing pushes and ult combinations coming from True Alphas, a 2CP map I would expect to be able to swing in their favor, but we've also seen some pretty strong pushes from Deus Vult. But if they can get their coordination together, this could be a very strong map for them as well.
Oh, definitely. I'm actually pretty fond of Hanamura. I'm actually pretty excited to see that in this set. It's been a long time coming. I'm shocked it wasn't in the first 3.
But Paris was.
Yeah, and that was a interesting turn of events. Didn't we have Havana on one of those as well? Or have we not had Havana yet?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
We've not had Havana yet. I'm mistaking it for something else, I guess.
As of now, one of the players on True Alphas that's really catching my eye is Call Me Raft. He's been able to command space very convincingly with his Reinhardt play, and
Right.
seeing as a lot of their damage has typically been split up, he's been commanding the space by having resources put into him instead of the space being kind of held by him and commanded by the DPS. He's holding it, commanding it, pushing his team forward. I don't know who's doing the shot calling on their team, but they're doing it very well.
And it looks like we're just on hold for a few minutes because a couple of the reticles were screwed up for one of the players on True Alpha, so we're just letting them have a moment to set that up.
I'm gonna say that's my excuse for every game we lost. My reticles were messed up and I didn't call for a timeout or anything.
Well, let's hope that's not the case tomorrow's game. By the way, everyone watching, stay tuned. We will have the Phantoms versus the Northborn tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST. Should be a fairly good matchup. I think Phantoms are probably one of the strongest team we actually have in the lowest tier at this point in time, so it's going to be a pretty tough game.
Yeah, they definitely scare me.
Oh, don't let it. Don't let it. Well, we actually had the most fun playing against them, though. I'll definitely say that.
Oh yeah.
It's such a positive group that they have it. And it looks like they are good, so we're going to be getting underway with map 3, Hanamura.
Traveling to Hanamura. Initiating match.
Alright. I do believe we will be seeing True Alphas on the attack yet again. To start things off.
So a little insight on Hanamura, not the map, but like opinions of it. I was having a conversation with Puffy, and we were talking about our favorite maps, and both of us really like Hanamura, and I think it's because of the difficult choke that is point 1, but then on point 2, there's so many ways that you can take it or hold it.
Mm-hmm.
So it really shows a team's ability to coordinate against what they're up against with this like tight choke.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And it looks like from True Alphas, they're going to be coming in with a single main tank with Raft. A very split comp from them, but they do have the Ana with the Genji to hopefully secure Nanoblade and the EMP to maybe just take this off of one push if they can farm out the EMP.
The trick will be because, I mean, Bunker being such a strong comp, a lot of people are trying it out right now, but it does require, you know, several aspects of coordination to it in order to actually get it to work pretty well. This is a very interesting position. I mean, with Orisa being able to refresh a shield, it shouldn't be as bad, but if you get enough shield break, that shield could go down pretty easily. And a use of Immortality field as frivolously as that actually is going to be, you know, to their detriment. Although the positioning of it is looking pretty solid at the moment, because I mean it is behind the wall.
It seems polar opposite of what we've been seeing on these other maps, where the Deus Vult is being very coordinated with what they're doing, with their pressure being applied where they want it to be. But True Alpha seemed really split up on that push.
Yeah, they really did. They were a little all over the place, and it's making things a little rougher. I mean, we do have a blade that's coming out very shortly. It looks like they're being able to farm ult fairly simply, and I wonder if that's really just the play that they're going to end up going with. Farm ult, get it off on the EMP blade. Nope. He just saw an opportunity after the shield went down, and A good
bomb
solid
coming
start.
in from Rebel. And he's got the ult coming through and takes out Impulse on the Zarya.
In here all alone.
Oh, and we got a
Tom on
revolve.
Mercy able to stall, goes for the res, but does get taken out, and it looks like point one is been taken.
That was kind of a ballsy res. You had no one there to protect you. You're out in the open.
I think it was more for stall factor than it was for point retake.
Probably, but
They're
at the
pushed
same
up quite
time,
far with the Bastion and Baptiste, and they don't have the rest of their team pushing up with them, so I would assume that they're going to switch off of it if they're going to push up this far.
ooh, out comes the sound barrier for the
So
initial push, and this is going to be a really
If they are
strong
just switching
start.
off here, then that's huge.
Ooh, and tank is hacked. Dragon gone down. Ooh, and this is going to be another strong push from True Alpha.
Already 2 ticks, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to make it out fast enough. That was... They still have over 4.5 minutes.
That's pretty solid. This is going to be another one of those tough teams now that we've actually added these folks in.
Sides. Initiating match.
Oh, they didn't have over 4.5. They only had 4:15. I was about 15 seconds off. Either way, 4 minutes and 15 seconds is a very large time bank for Hanamura.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
It looks like we're running the Ryan Zarya with the Genji Tracer coming in from Deus Vult.
Defend objective
True Alphas do look like they had primarily a little bit of a death ball here with the Hammond really just to keep disruption. I kind of like it, to be honest.
Hammond is really good at controlling this choke here because of the way that you can grapple right above it and keep Reinhardt's in check by not allowing them to push when they see fit. They have to play around your cooldown, which is a 5-second cooldown. They already have a tire coming in. And it gets both of the DPS.
Out comes the barrier in order to
And
get the
Dragon
push
gets
going.
trapped early on in the push, but ults are just coming from both teams here.
That was really unfortunate because that could have been a pretty solid push with the barrier and give them lots of sustain. Unfortunately, the room couldn't get given with the Reinhardt getting accidentally thrown into that trap.
Alexander on the soldier with some fantastic positioning up on the roof of this house.
Yeah, high ground
He has a
soldier is just
completely open view of whatever he wants.
exactly.
And another tire coming through. And Tom Trucker's taken out. The barrier coming in with the blade. This could be huge, but he gets taken out quickly.
It was a pretty solid grab. There was actually a good chunk of people in that grab. Impulse found a fairly decent opportunity, which was able to be capitalized on. Soldier is relocated into a very aggressive high ground position. Like Alec going in for it.
It will do a... Oh, that is a very big shatter coming in. But with the tactical visor being used behind them, it stalls out.
It does put a lot of pressure on when you end up... You're unable to actually put your back... sorry, your front to your designated position. You have to start taking your back and putting it right to the rest of the enemy.
Aria pulling almost the entire team back to point, but they do have the choke mined up, so they can't push in to take advantage of it very well.
Right now, this is
only 30
Soldier,
seconds left on the
still got
attacking
a
team.
Very aggressive high ground position. And nobody able to take that back from him. Oh, and out comes the aimbot just to stall people over at choke. Like, he is very aggressive right now, literally just at their spawn.
Alexander being pretty uncontested on that Soldier. He was just able to take what space he wanted and hold high grounds where he needed to. That was huge from their team, and he does get play of the game.
And that just helps to showcase some of the reasons why high ground is Soldier's best friend.
If I'd give anybody player of that round, it would have to be Alexander.
Oh, definitely.
He played it very, very convincingly there.
All right, one more map, and in League here too, we do actually have to have a an option for the fourth map after a 3-0 happens of being optional. We still sometimes will end up getting it played, just you know, to get some map differential points up on the board for a team if they think they can grab another point. Otherwise, it can just be for fun. But so far, True Alphas has taken this set.
Coming out of nowhere, you were saying that this was a new team, and they played this very convincingly. Each one of the members on the team was showing their skill as an individual player and their ability to play together. Wrath was able to take space in the choke the entire time to force the attention of the team from Deus Vult, while Alexander was able to just have free reign to take control of the high ground. They played it fantastically.
Definitely, and I think Batted Autumn ended up actually, or Baited Autumn, I don't know which one he prefers it, but swapping back and forth between DPS from a previous round to support on this one, or sorry, to support at least on Hollywood, shows that there's actually some flexibility also within the roster here. And I'm happy to see that at even with our low tier teams that we're actually getting some use out of Ana with Smolage.
Yeah, usually in lower SRs and lower ELOs, she doesn't seem to get as much value because you do have to have a higher mechanical skill to get the heals off, but her kit is one of the most useful out of any support, or maybe even any character in the entire game.
Oh, definitely, definitely. That's why you're starting to see her come back in the league more now that the GOATS meta has been changing, like the official league. But for a brand new team,
Do we have
they're
a-
pretty strong. We're just waiting. We're waiting for a confirmation.
Yeah, that's what I was getting
True.
ready to ask. If we had a confirmation from Map 4.
Yep, we just got that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's up to Deus Vult, and almost immediately, as soon as we ended it, our owner, who is Ariandel Steele, she actually ended up confirming that, yeah, the one more map almost immediately, but we were just waiting on the confirmation from True Alphas if they're ready, which we just got it. So we should be getting this underway any second. Oh, and there we go.
Welcome to Rialto. Initiating match.
This is one map with the environmental play we saw coming on Lijiang that I'm pretty excited to watch from both of these teams. Getting past this bridge can be quite difficult when you have Phares or Lucios or Orissas just pulling people off of the map, because it is just a short bridge that you have to cross.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for this a little bit. I'm hoping there's going to be some Lucio play
Ready
or some
for
good
battle.
pulls. Oh, we're already hearing the sounds of the Widowmaker. Are we going to
With the
see some
quadruple DPS defense?
Incoming in 30 seconds.
I think they're probably just. No, they're actually coming out with this. Okay, perfect. I was gonna say they're probably discussing, and I was like, wait a sec, they don't have enough time to actually discuss that.
The double sniper with the Bastion and the Genji to very much help disrupt. Both teams running double hit scan and triple hit scan if you were going to count the Bastion, which is taking some fire from the Widowmaker.
Ooh, and the only support goes down, which is gonna give a lot of movement for True.
This team is continuing to show their mechanical prowess with the very skill-dependent hit scan characters. They're running Widowmaker, McCree, and Ana.
Oh, definitely.
And Alexander is still just continuing to frag.
And I'm liking the fact that even though we saw, I think, Small Edge on Ana in one of the earlier maps, I believe it was Hollywood, we have Jada, who's also being able to take on that role too. Like, that's huge when you get some of the flexibility like that. Swap in and out, and bad at Autumn, you know, go back on DPS.
Alexander barrel stuffing people in their spawn. And it looks like they're probably going to get the stagger on the Zenyatta
I think
here.
this is the first I've seen the Widowmaker become the first one to turn around. It's like, I'm going to get back to moving the point. You almost never see that, especially not in my comp matches.
Alexander off of the McCree now, playing an aggressive Genji. Showing us that his DPS hero pool is quite wide. Alexander interrupting the support 1v1 between Jada and Impulse. Quite rude of him. Looked like it could have went either way. I wanted to see which one of them was going to win it. Another strange thing to look at, there is an Orisa and a Hog in this match, but on two separate teams.
Ooh. He ends up getting the blade out. He does happen to get one pick off before the Transcendence ended up blocking the rest of it, but unfortunately... Oh, now they're having a friendly little... Oh. They're just ignoring one another here. Between Impulse and Alexander.
And a very fast take by True Alphas here.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
With such a large time bank, I am curious to see what is going to come out from the side of Deus Vult here on their attack.
Yeah, I mean, coming out with the quad DPS bold move, I'm happy to see that they were able to switch it up and get it a little bit more cohesive comp later on, but that probably ended up getting a steamroll going. Pretty sure.
Yeah, True Alphas was able to, like we've been saying through the previous matches, just take the ult economy to the next level because while Deus Vult has been showing their ability to switch their heroes map to map, and even in between point and point in game to combat whatever they're up against, the ult economy has been showing from the side of True Alphas and their ability to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like we're going to be sticking with a Genji and Widow on the defense. Actually, it looks like we're almost.
I understand you're
almost
looking at Genji
comp.
and Widow, but if
I just
you
realized.
see Small Edge here is on Lucio, and I'm wanting to see a Fat Boop real quick.
Attackers incoming.
Hiding in the corner.
Stop the payload.
Diva flanking behind.
Oh, and they were
pushes Small Edge
almost
right out of his
caught.
spot, but was not able to get the pick.
Wasn't able to finish the job, but did happen to end up preventing the sneak attack boot.
Tom Trucker
Or
winning
did
the
she?
Widow 1v1.
Oh no, and Small Edge getting picked off by the pin. Oh no! Nari goes over the edge.
Raft has been showing himself to be just a very strong Reinhardt.
We got a little bit of a Widow 1v1 duel thing going on here.
Huge shatter coming in from Raft, but he does get taken out even through the nano. Alexander coming in alone with the Dragon Blade and has picked a fight with the Reinhardt, but gets
Few
taken
tanks.
out by the baby Diva.
Alright, this gives
No one can hide.
True a few moments to actually end up resetting up right at the final point of the choke.
And coming with the Dragon Blade from Endragon, and he gets the Widowmaker and the Ana. But he does give up his life to do so. The whole hog coming in. Doesn't seem to get a whole lot of value, but does push the team back, and Impulse gets a pin on the
Nice
Moira.
pin.
And it looks like they've got point one.
I think the some of the choices here for swapping roles around on Deus Vult has actually proved a lot stronger for them. Impulse is doing fantastic on the line right now.
So far, his Rhine has been pretty convincing, even up against Raft, who I've been pretty much talking up a storm about.
Although he's in a little bit of a trouble right now, getting pushed back along with having lots of focus on him.
And they're just commanding the entire open space by putting most of the team in the face while keeping Alexander on the Widow now.
Oh wow.
Come and face.
Out comes the rally. Unfortunately, just a little late for Impulse.
Cyanide was able to get the Ana before he went down. With the pretty large respawn advantage, that might actually mean a lot coming into this next fight if they can regroup and push quickly. And Alexander is taken down by Tom Trucker, so this will be a fight where they're 2 up until this Ana can get back.
Yeah, and if they manage to actually get their team back and together, they will be having a EMP coming up online. Ooh, out comes a nice solid shatter from Impulse. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize on it. Raft able to help them come back from that. Chasing down that Moira. I do feel
The
we'll
hack
likely
on the run coming in early.
an EMP coming out fairly shortly. Oh, except for the quick pick from Trucker onto Autumn.
Trucker has been able to get some very important picks through these fights. His Widowmaker has been showing to be really strong. But Alexander does win this 1v1. And the bomb comes in and gets both healers. It looks like this push is going to get stopped. Incoming the EMP and the very quick takedown on the Doomfist.
Alex is now on the Tracer. Causing havoc in the back line. Unable to stick the bomb, but does a little bit of damage to the Diva.
While unable to stick the bomb on the Diva, it does get demeched, and he did pick the Ana,
We
who
actually
is
will
coming
be
back
having
now.
A fist ultimate coming up, the meteor shower very shortly. I think he's going to end up trying to use this momentarily.
Very nice shatter coming in from Impulse to take out Wrath.
He may actually. Oh, I was gonna say he may actually be trying to use it for the stall at the end of the thing, but unfortunately, the Tracer does happen to take him out. Incoming Autumn.
Arya, the only one on point. Cyanide moving up to make sure that they continue holding it, because this is they have to stay on point all the way through.
Oh no!
And the Diva Bomb comes in, kills both members on point, but the Doomfist is able to make it back in alongside Impulse on the Hamster now. Shatter coming in to shut down Hammond. And Dragon gets taken out, and another map going towards... While not counting for a map in the point system, I don't think, it does count as another game being played.
It's for the map differential. Alright. Well, that was all 4 maps.
Yeah.
In, just over an hour.
41 eliminations from Alexander coming from that game. Pretty big considering how many different DPS characters he did play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Widow, Genji, Tracer, all of the shoot match from hit scan to projectile to, you know, backliner. It's going to be a pretty strong team to contend with in our low tier.
From the first showing of this new True Alphas, they are showing to be a very strong team.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested in when I actually get to see them playing against the Phantoms. That'll be a very, very interesting matchup to see, because they do seem to have like the coordination that I felt the Phantoms had. But anyways, so that does end up concluding today's games. If you guys are still watching, thanks for joining us. And tomorrow we will be having the Northbourne versus the Phantoms, another one of the low-tier games. And I believe we're looking to have one of the high-tier games within the next week. So stay tuned. Keep an eye on the Twitter page for when we're going to be going live. All right. Thank you all. And we shall see you tomorrow.